Apple Silicon has had a profound impact on the Mac. Every chip in the M1 family has been groundbreaking, allowing us to make the world's best personal computers for our users. And now we're going to take the next giant leap, because today we're bringing Apple Silicon to users who need even more extreme levels of performance to unleash their creativity. We're adding one last chip to the M1 family, and it's going to blow your mind. Here it is. Introducing M1 Ultra. It is a monster of a chip, and it brings breathtaking levels of performance to the Mac desktop. So let me hand it over to Johnny to tell you more about its incredible architecture.
M1 Ultra is the next breakthrough for Apple Silicon. So far, we've scaled Apple Silicon for the Mac from M1 to M1 Pro to M1 Max. And with each chip, we've extended the architecture to deliver phenomenal performance while maintaining remarkable power efficiency and scaling the unified memory architecture. This approach has also provided a consistent developer programming model across the M1 family. And now we want to take Apple Silicon even further to achieve more extreme levels of performance for the desktop. The challenge is that there are physical limitations in creating a larger die than M1 Max. The leading approach is to use two chips and connect them via the motherboard. However, that approach has significant trade-offs, including increased latency, reduced bandwidth, and much higher power consumption. This also burdens developers with the need to change their code for this architecture. So with M1 Ultra, we did something truly groundbreaking. And it actually starts with M1 Max, the most powerful SoC we've built to date. With its high-performance CPU, massive GPU, and tremendous unified memory bandwidth, M1 Max is incredibly capable. And its amazing performance is delivered while maintaining industry-leading power efficiency. Yet, it's even more capable than what we've shared. You see, M1 Max has a secret, a hidden feature we haven't talked about until now. It has a groundbreaking die-to-die interconnect technology that allows us to scale even further by building M1 Ultra from two M1 Max die, which doubles performance. And we connect the two die with our innovative custom-built packaging architecture. This multi-die architecture is way ahead of anything else in the industry, and we call it Ultra Fusion. The Ultra Fusion architecture uses a silicon interposer that has twice the connection density of any technology available. It connects over 10,000 signals and provides an enormous 2.5 terabyte per second of low latency interprocessor bandwidth between the two die using very little power. That's more than 4 times the bandwidth of the leading multi-chip interconnect technology. The result is an SoC with blazing performance due to low latency, massive bandwidth, and incredible power efficiency. And thanks to the magic of the Ultra Fusion architecture, it behaves like a single chip to software and preserves the benefits of the unified memory. M1 Ultra has 114 billion transistors. That's 7 times more than M1. It's the most ever in a personal computer chip. And when you add it to the M1 family, you can see the huge difference in area between M1 and M1 Ultra. This multi-die architecture also supports a higher bandwidth memory subsystem. In fact, with 2 die, the memory bandwidth is increased to a massive 800 gigabytes per second. That's more than 10 times the latest PC desktop chip. And doubling the memory channels also means M1 Ultra supports up to a staggering 128 gigabytes of unified memory for enormous workloads. M1 Ultra also offers an unbelievable amount of compute performance. It has a powerful 20-core CPU with 16 high-performance cores and 4 high-efficiency cores to crush CPU-intensive tasks. It also features a huge 64-core GPU, so it can speed through the most intense graphic tasks. It's nearly 8 times faster than M1. M1 Ultra has 32 powerful neural engine cores that can run up to 22 trillion operations per second to accelerate the most formidable machine learning tasks. And it has twice the capabilities of the amazing media engine in M1 Max for unprecedented ProRes video encode and decode throughput. Power efficiency affects the entire system, including enclosure design, thermals, acoustics, and ultimately performance. So the industry-leading performance per watt of M1 Max and M1 Ultra is a huge advantage for a desktop. M1 Max delivers similar multi-threaded CPU performance to the latest 10-core PC desktop chip while using 65% less power. And when we compare M1 Ultra to the fastest 16-core PC desktop chip available, it delivers 90% higher performance in the same power envelope. And M1 Ultra can deliver the PC chip's peak performance while using an astounding 100 watts less power. When we look at GPU performance and power, M1 Max delivers similar performance to one of the most popular GPUs while using 1/3 the power. And M1 Ultra delivers faster performance than the highest-end GPU available while using 200 watts less power. M1 Ultra provides industry-leading desktop class performance and power efficiency, allowing us to deliver incredible performance in a much smaller, more efficient design. So that's the groundbreaking M1 Ultra. It's the most powerful and capable chip ever for a personal computer. Now back to John.
M1 Ultra takes Apple Silicon further than ever. It's another game-changing chip for our pro users. Now, one of the things that makes Apple Silicon so unique is how tightly it integrates with the operating system. This integration enables macOS to scale with M1 Ultra, allowing it to automatically benefit from M1 Ultra's immense capabilities, delivering another big step forward in performance. It also enables us to deliver an amazing experience for our users. Everything is super fast and incredibly responsive, and the system and user data are protected with industry-leading security. The transition to Apple Silicon has delivered the largest collection of apps ever for Mac, including iPhone and iPad apps, which can now run on Mac, and universal apps that unlock the full power of the M1 family. And new apps with unbelievable performance continue to be released every week. We're thrilled with how well this transition is going. And because M1 Ultra looks like a single piece of silicon to software, apps will benefit from its extraordinary capabilities without any additional work. Let's hear what some of our developers have to say about it.
What? 128 gigs of RAM?
There is no delay. It's just a toggling, like a light switch.
You don't actually have that time to stir your coffee because the file just opens and you're like, oh, okay, let's get to work.
Hi, I'm Anna, and I work at Ableton as a software developer. Principal product manager at Adobe for motion graphics.
I'm Ruby at Vectorworks.
I'm Ellie Wade, and I work at Maxon.
Larissa Supnick. I'm the lead Sapphire developer.
3D designer, and I specialize in fabric simulation.
What we're really seeing with the M1 Ultra is a faster workflow from very first launch all the way through to final export. The UI is more fluid, previewing's faster. If you can speed up every one of those loops, you keep people in their creative flow.
Getting that kind of performance change between generations is really amazing.
Now a designer can say, I want this change and I want to do this, and do that instantly.
Scene rendering is up to 4 times faster. And now with these new performance speeds, I can take it to the next level. You're only limited by your own imagination, whether it is photorealistic renders or whether it is millions of objects flying everywhere.
Everything just flows. One of the things that you'll really notice is the navigation in the 3D environment. It's all very responsive, and it creates this uninterrupted experience.
With the 270 Sapphire effects, being able to get effects that users love using so much of the time faster is phenomenal.
You could just keep putting layers on top of layers and more layers.
The fabric simulation is faster now. So I'm able to see little subtle details, little things like puckering, gathering, pulling of the fabric, when I wasn't able to see that before.
Does it feel buttery smooth? There's an emotional component to it. M1 Ultra seems very unimpressed with the load I ask it to handle. Now you could add more wavetable synthesizers together, and that contributes to the richness of your sound. There's more room for improvisation. DJ sets become more expressive.
People are going to be able to really push the bounds of their creativity.
You can actually trust that your stuff's going to get done on a deadline.
Now we're going to have designers from different backgrounds, different voices, different experiences, being able to have a seat at the table.
The answer to what's going to happen is, I don't know, and that's exciting.